Alright, so what's up you guys? Right now I'm right here with my block that's freshly from the machine shop and painted. I painted it purple. Not the best paint job, pretty sucky. Over here with Chris, and we're sort of waiting on Jerry. Not sure if he's alive right now. He hasn't texted us back in a good minute. But yeah guys, I got my block. I got my pistons already assembled. I just gotta toss the rings on them right fast on the rest of them. I made that last video you guys could probably check out about me putting the piston rings together and the connecting rods. If you guys want to know how to put the connecting rods and pistons and the rings on there and all that good stuff, you guys can check that last video out. But yeah, now I'm about to build the bottom end, so I'm about to put the main bearings in, drop the crank in here, and also put the pistons and rods in. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. Alright guys, so to start off, I'm taking this acetone right here and a good old rag, and I'm going to wipe off all the journals. So all these like U-shaped parts of the block I'm going to be wiping off, and I'm also going to be wiping off the crank cradle, which is right here, all those U-shaped parts too. I'm wiping those all off because that's where the main bearings will sit, and I don't want them to be like any type of debris or dust or dirt in between. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, taking some acetone and a rag, and I'm wiping them down right fast. Alright guys, so once you get done wiping the journals down, take these bearings right here, these U-shaped things, and you slide them right into the journals. So starting with the number 3, I marked with number 3, and see this groove right here? I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a groove and it matches the groove on the bearing itself. So that's how you know how the bearing fits in there. So just push that right up in there. Oh, I messed up. Slide that. Boom. Alright. And when you push the bearings in there, you want to make sure that they're flush with the top right here. So just like that. And then that's how you put a bearing in. So basically I gotta repeat this step 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I only got 4 more to repeat it. So that I do it for the block, and then I do it for the crank cradle. So I gotta do these 2. But just know that the third one is the biggest one. So it has like this extra metal on the edges. So this is what a regular one looks like versus the thrust bearing, which is the middle one. So yeah, so just pop those bearings in, and then we'll go to the next step. Alright you guys, so I got the bearings in, and now that I got that in, I need to take the oil squirters, these little things right here, and I need to put these right here, there, there, and there. So there's 4 of them, and you'll know where they go. I mean, 2 of them go in a certain way, like this one will only go right here, and it doesn't matter which one, and then the other 2 will fit in right here and right there. Like they have like a little lock-in mechanism thingy right here that stops them, and it'll be easier to find out where they go. So just toss those up in there, and then we'll be on to the next step. Alright you guys, so once you get the oil squirters in there, then you can start by grabbing this lube right here. You can use this lube, or there's like another brand that Jerry has, and I also used it. But you can get this lube. All it is engine assembly lube, or assembly lube, high performance. I got this Lucas, thought I'd try it out this time. But yeah, you just take this and you want to lube up all the bearings, like all the main bearings, and also when we end up putting the pistons and rods in. You want to lube up all the pistons and rod like bearings too. So yeah, do that. So, and you don't have to just put like a little bit. You can be pretty, I forgot what it was, like what the word was. You can be like generous with it or some crap. I don't know, but yeah, you just put the lube on there, and then you want to make sure it covers all the surface area. After you get that, then you want to come over here and do the same thing with all of these. So yeah, just lube those up, and we'll move on to the next step. So once you get all your bearings lubed up like they are right now, you want to go to your crank, my nice polished crank, and you want to lube up the crank a little bit too. I mean, it doesn't hurt. More lube, it won't hurt it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start lubing this up now. So once you get finished lubing up the crank, you like gently pick up the crank and set it into the block.
Manhandle that bitch.
Once you got the crank in here, you want to take your studs right here, which I have to clean mine off, they're really dirty. Take my studs, and I use, let's see over here, I use this stuff right here. ARP, fastener assembly lubricant, or the ARP ultra torque lube, whatever you guys want to call it. They also, like, ARP recommends this because these are ARP main studs, and I also have head studs for when I put the head on. So basically I coat the threads of the studs with this, and I will thread up each one of these holes with the stud just to drop the crank cradle on right here, this thing. So when you're doing this, the two back ones, if I remember right, are longer, and then there's one middle one that's longer. So there's 3 long ones, and then the rest of them are short. Short ones go right here and here, here and here, and then right here in the front, and then one of them goes in the middle like I just said. So it'll form like an L with the longer ones. Alright, but yeah, so 3 of them are longer than the others, and you can tell right here, see this one's longer or it's higher up, and these 2 are higher up. So these are the back ones, and then this one right here, so the further one. So this one, looking at the engine like this, where it tapers in right here, this one, and this one are going to be the long ones. The rest are all going to be short. So just thread those in, and they have Allen wrenches, like hex pattern on the top. So you got to use an Allen wrench when you're putting it in. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to put those in right fast. So alright guys, once you get your studs in here, which when you're putting these studs in, you want to make sure that they're hand tight. You don't have to torque them down to any spec. And once you get those in, take your crank cradle right here. I haven't lubed mine yet, I just lubed that so I can get the crank in. But again, you lube this up, all of these, and what you want to do is just set this on top of this. So I'm about to do that right now. Alright, so once you get the crank cradle in here and tap down with the hammer to where it's like flat, you can tell if it's flat right here on the edges. So once you have that on there and you know that's all good, then you can take your nuts right here and screw the nuts down on top of these studs. And it goes a washer, then a nut, then these have to be torqued down to a specific torque spec. So ARP gave me the instructions and they said it's supposed to be 60 foot-pounds in 3 equal steps. So basically you have to tighten it down to 20 foot-pounds, then tighten it all down to 40 foot-pounds, and then tighten it to 60. And you have to do it in like a specific sequence. And if I remember right, which I have the instructions, it's on my phone right now, it goes from here, 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 there to here, there to there, and there to there. So basically you're working your way from the inside out. I'll probably post a picture of the instructions on the video so that you guys actually know for sure instead of just going off my word right now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put the nuts on here and then tighten them down to the torque spec. Alright you guys, so I got the whole crankshaft in there and that's what it's supposed to look like right now. And boom, crankshaft is in. So now what I'm going to do is probably end this video and make a part 2. Basically in part 2 I'm putting the pistons in there. Oh, pointing the wrong spot. Putting all the pistons and rods and everything, bolting that up in there. Alright you guys, so check the second half of this video out if you want to know how to build the second half of the engine.